supervisors are present at roll call with the exception of Supervisor Huff. Do we have anybody on conference call with us? Not yet.
Or they're on mute.
Vice Chair.
Public comments? Anybody? All right, perfect.
What did you say?
I'm sorry?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Oh, public comments? Do you have? Okay. John? Somebody just joined.
Yeah, who just joined us on conference call?
Hi, Dan.
Oh, it's Dan. Good morning, Dan.
So we're gonna roll into staff reports. John, go ahead.
All right. Just go off. Currently, right now, you see we got some sod going out in the center medians. All that stuff's getting done today as we speak. Flowers were installed last week. Hopefully everybody likes them. I got an estimate to clean out in between 11 and 12. It's $8,400. I talked to Ed a little bit about that the other day, about maybe doing something like that every 4 or 5 years. Because I mean, that's really a really good number for that huge amount of area to get that cleaned out. You know, not pine straw or anything like that. Just get it cleaned out, get the palms and the dead limbs trimmed off the pines and whatnot. Because I know when Stony Brook first opened up, that was kind of open. You know, just think it'd give it a bigger feel. So like, I got that.
Is it been cleaned out?
I don't think so. It's been a long time.
Because I think something's happening there, because I've noticed it over time. There's been some times where, because I end up.
It used to
You
get
in
pine
there,
straw. So
There's
what
so many times you can get in there, and
Yeah.
sometimes it seems like not. So I don't know if that's just seasonal, or if
Yeah.
there was actually something done.
I know when I first started, it used to get pine straw.
Yeah.
So yeah, it had to have been during those times. I think it was my first year here, it got pine straw, then after that,
I don't see any reason pine straw.
No, that could cost almost 20 grand to pine straw, just that
Exactly.
area.
That's
Not worth it.
it's a waste of money.
Also, we put some new landscaping in the center median as well. We pulled out, obviously we pulled out the bougainvilleas, the white pink ones, and resawed it, but we also put some fire bush in, behind that, where the chiflera was. The deer are just tearing that stuff up, so, that'll look a lot better. Last month, Ed asked me about the mulch and pine straw for the common grounds being over budget. And it, you know, that's just what we need. So I was gonna ask, you know, today for like an extra $5,500. I know we're possibly amending that budget, for that line item. So we don't fall short on that this year and going forward. I also wanted to talk to Chuck about maybe adding some more money to our debit cards, because Dave and I are starting to find out, even a lot of his mechanical stuff, we can get much better deals on like Amazon, you know, and next day shipping free. So it's something that, you know, having that buying power, especially like tires and certain things like that, nuts and bolts when he has to fill up, instead of using the company that comes in and fills everything up. I mean, it's just leaps and bounds cheaper. And it's not hard for us to do, you know, we can keep the receipt and we just code it. And so it's just something I think would be easier for us, you know, maybe putting a couple more thousand in there per month to have. And, you know, moving forward with that, we're just saving some money there, because I know that, you know, we're trying to save money any way we can.
So what do you currently get?
Right now, I think it's like 3,000. What do you say, Jeff? I think on the debit card, typically.
Yeah, I think it's 3,000.
It's like 3,000.
I would prefer a credit card. It's more
Do you-
secure.
That's the only way you can do it nowadays. They're grandfathered in. They were the last ones to actually get a debit card. Now we have to do it by credit card, so.
It makes more sense. It's more secure anyway.
You get more points and stuff. You get benefits from it. You could use also.
Be traveling everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we can transition you. We'll leave the debit card open for, at this point, we'll go ahead and apply for a credit card
Okay.
and get you set up with a larger credit limit.
Perfect.
so if we do that, how does that, I mean,
It's the
as
same.
far as, would like Pender audit that, or who
It's
would
the-
look at those?
It's the same agreement, and it gets reconciled every month.
Okay.
Just like a debit card, only it's a credit card. It'll be the same agreement about, unauthorized purchases and their responsibility for anything that doesn't match up in terms of what was spent and what's
Okay.
in the reconciliation. So it's got the same belts and suspenders.
And would that be issued in John's name?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we would
We'd
probably
each
just.
one have one.
John and Jeff then, so we'd have two.
Yep.
We use Amazon some, not like he does, but, like we buy hangers off Amazon, and,
Right.
I mean, Amazon has a card, I mean, I have one,
Right.
and it's really easy.
The
You just
Prime card and so
pay your
forth.
bill at the end of the month off Amazon, I mean, maybe that, if it's, the credit card, I could only think that'd be the only thing you use it for.
And right now you're sitting, what, 1,000?
I would say for us, I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, right now you're sitting at 1,000, so what are you looking for, something like 3?
no, I think usually typically we have about 3,000 in on the debit card. Looking for more keep 5 on there
For each one?
yeah, because we'd be separate anyway, right? Well, I don't know what you would need. but
I
can't
don't
speak
need
for Jeff.
5,000.
You don't,
No, we buy hangers and
Yeah, I would, then
minimalistic.
if that's the case, then I would, because we were sharing the debit, even though we had different cards, sharing the same account, so 3 would probably work for us.
I would-
If it was just for the maintenance department.
Right.
Yeah.
I would think if you're getting a credit card issued for an entity, it's gonna be at least 5,000 minimum.
Yeah, I think a minimum.
So I don't think that
Whatever.
Well, we
That's more
can, yeah,
probably shouldn't be an issue, but you've done it before, correct? So
Yep.
you guys work out what you wanna do with Chuck. But I don't think as far as budget wise, we really have to budget any of that,
You
because
don't.
it's really money we're already spending, it's just a different avenue of spending it.
Right, different.
Right, yeah. The budget's still the budget.
Okay. So we're not allocating any more money for the debit card, it's gonna be a credit card. Exactly.
I got the final bill for the bunker project. It was $268,989, which was a $7,245 difference in the estimate. But we hit every number on the head. That money was basically the drainage pipe we had to add in. And, when that was in the estimate, they gave us a linear footage price, but we didn't know until we started working what we needed.
Right. So about $7,000 over.
Yeah, just over, yep. And then really, that's all I got right now.
Well, let's go back to, one of your points about mulch. And I talked to John about this, but, and I just wanted to bring it to the board. We received quite a few comments about how the pine straw, the mulch starts looking bad. And it does. It just doesn't last. Either changes color or the pine straw gets blown away. And I would be interested in discussing, or I want to discuss, potentially doing more mulching, more pine straw throughout the year. I don't really know if it warrants once a quarter, because when I start thinking of quarters, I start thinking, well, we're gonna mulch in July, which would probably just get rained and blown away. I don't know, you can comment more on that.
Right.
I was gonna ask Chuck, what do some of your other communities do? Do they do once a quarter, or?
No, we've gone to once a year. High-profile areas we'll do more frequently, like say around a clubhouse or at a gatehouse area or tennis facility where people are out walking around. But driving by at 25, 30 miles an hour, it just isn't, just doesn't
Well,
provide.
clearly on the
wow factor,
walkways,
so,
on the walkways here, I mean, after,
Yeah.
And that's
we
the,
we currently do it twice a year.
yeah. And that's the meat and potatoes of the amount that goes out is that walkway, that path for us.
So, again, I'm open to discussion. Maybe, do we need to do a full mulching 3 or 4 times a year? I don't know. But
Well-
I do know that I walk my dog a lot, and yeah, after a little bit, it just starts
It dies.
looking bare, and it doesn't look good, period.
Well, when I discussed this yesterday with John, so he differentiates between mulching and pine straw.
Well, yeah,
Because we got into
yes,
that, right?
yes.
So he doesn't think, mulching is required that often, mulch meaning real mulch,
Right.
other than when we change out the flowers. Pine straw, yeah, that needs to be done more frequently because of, the weather and the aging of it, it disintegrates pretty quick.
So you think mulching we can keep twice a year?
Yeah.
Or do we?
Well, and that's what I told
Actually,
Ed.
clarify that, do we just pine straw twice a year, or do we pine straw and mulch twice a year?
We we pine straw and mulch twice a year. Because we do annuals twice a year, right,
Okay.
currently. And that was another discussion, if we wanted to increase the amount of flowers per year, then yes, mulch is gonna have to go up, you know, three mulches per year. If we stick with the current, theme of going with just 2 flower installs a year, then no, we'll be fine. And it's just add an extra pine straw, which is about 11, almost 12,000 a year, just for the pine straw,
And I'm just talking about the, common grounds too.
for the common grounds, right, this is just for
Talking
common
about the
grounds,
golf course, on the common grounds.
correct.
Um,
Golf course is about the same amount of money, roughly,
Right.
real close.
So increasing pine straw
To 3 times.
3 times a year, I think it would make the community look better.
Yeah, it looks pretty ragged during the summertime, really. It's like-
It gets down and we can
Well,
certainly.
most of that's because of the rain and the wind blowing
Yeah.
the wind.
Right, which that's what I'm saying, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to pine straw in July.
I wouldn't think so.
But would we do,
You got two things you're concerned with in putting it down in, say, May going into the summer. And it is good for weed deterrent, but you get so many people that are seasonal, so you've lost that impact. It does deteriorate quicker with the heat and the rain. And also, it's gonna find its way down your storm drains, as you get into the rainy season. So that creates a downstream issue. You know, your pine straw is floating out of your beds and it's ending up in your drains and potentially leading to other issues. So I would encourage you, if you're going to do 3, it's probably in October, January,
in April?
March, or April.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, just for the season. So,
When do you do it now, John?
Right now, we currently do it in,
October, November.
October and May.
October to May?
yeah, I'd try to pull it back right on the cusp of going into the rainy season. That's, I mean, we clean a lot of storm pipes and a lot of other clients, and majority of the stuff we find in there, oak leaves and pine straw.
Maybe do a September, January, April.
Well, you do October 1st, that would be the new
Yeah.
fiscal year, and do a January, and then do a late
April.
March or early April.
Kind of one more just before Easter, which is a
Right,
big
and it'll
push.
still look nice,
Okay.
and I don't know, we just, well, I've monitored the email box, the CDD email box, and I get people making comments on that, we've had people come in here commenting on Alan, said, I noticed it, just walking my dog, there's so many bare areas,
And you're gonna have to be careful with how your maintenance crews work around
Yeah.
the mulch, because the guy with the blower,
Yeah, I actually
he's not
trust me.
always thinking.
Oh, I trust me, I know, when they edge the pass and then they go by blowing off the grass at the edge, you know, hey guys, you gotta stop, you know, and, oh, trust me, I know, you'll, especially when it first gets laid, you'll see it looks like a toupee pulled back, you know, you
Yeah.
just see it all pulled back, I'm like,
Backbone over.
yeah, you can't deny what happened right here, you know, somebody went by with a blower and just blew it all up, you know.
so I brought it up now because you were talking about,
Yeah,
although we are talking about pine straw, not mulch,
pine straw, right,
but, and I know we're gonna be talking about,
amending the budget.
yeah, number 5 here, if we need to throw that into the general fund.
Well, that's for the prior year, so
Yeah.
this isn't
Oh,
for the
sure.
current year.
Okay.
We're
All right, all right.
I was confused, because since
Yeah.
2019.
Right, I saw that too, so I'm thinking,
Yeah, our real amendment to that budget is when we start our budget deliberations for 2021, so
okay,
we'll have dollars in there. You guys did put some significant amounts of money
Right.
into your assessment this year to increase your fund balance, so.
but overall, we do that, one more pine straw is gonna be around $10,000 or $11,000.
About 12,000.
12,000. And I guess, well, should we vote on that, should I create a motion?
That, it would be appropriate for
I
sure.
would,
Put the months in your motion of
yeah,
October,
I
January,
make a
April.
motion to create a third pine straw laying in each fiscal year. Actually,
also flowers was brought up about doing the same thing. You know, add another flower install for the same reasons.
Flowers I would like to have seen, but, you know, I'm talking to John again yesterday about it, and he felt that if we did that, then we have to do it for mulch, which then it gets pretty expensive.
Well, 25, right?
Prohibitive, yeah.
It's about 25.
Yeah, you probably need about another, probably 5,000 to add another install in.
But that's just mulch.
No, that'd be
That's just
flowers
flowers.
included.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to the flowers all that much. I really don't.
Well, the hard thing for us with the flowers is, basically right now, the way we said is we make them go about 6 months. After about 4, it gets real hard. You know, they're not meant, they're meant to be, you know, here for a few months, rip them out, throw some new ones in. And so, especially in the summertime, depending on how bad the heat is, and it's a catch-22. Do you want to see an empty bed with nothing in it, or, you know, like you said, doing 25 by a bed that has flowers in it? But if you stop and really looked at it, you'd be like, man, this guy looks like shit. You know? But we have no problem. I mean, it's not going to be in any extra, especially the pine straw. That's no extra work on us. You know, the annuals will be. But then even then, it's not going to be something.
What would the costing annually be?
Like you said, probably about another 2,000 for the flowers, and I'd say about another 3,000 for the mulch to do that. Because we would just be doing the flower beds, not everything else that needs to be mulched.
Yeah.
You know, we have other areas that get mulched twice a year that
Those
don't
would
have
stay,
that.
those would stay.
Those would stay. So it's minimal mulch. It's not the whole mulch package, which would be about another 5,000 if we did, you know, all of the parking lot and all that stuff. No, it's.
So what's your schedule for the plants now?
Same thing, October, May.
October and May?
So you just add another one in January, right?
Yeah, about that time, yeah.
Would you need to? Yeah. Because of the weather. I mean, it seems like that would be the time of year when the plants would last longer, maybe. I don't know.
Well, right now, especially with these marigolds, no. The last time we used these marigolds, they went well into April, May, fine. But,
So you're mainly talking about the summer is when the flowers start looking bad.
yeah, in May, yeah. It's usually around May, they start looking bad from the winter install, and then usually around, you know, August, September, from the spring install, they start looking.
Let's table it for this year.
Yeah.
Let's watch the flowers and see
Let's
what
stick with the
happens.
pine straw for now.
Keep an eye on the email box and see what happens.
I just honestly, I really don't pay that close attention to the
Yeah.
flowers.
Let me write that down.
So we do have a motion for, the pine discussion.
All right, so next one will be in
Those in favor?
January.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed for the record.
Oh, sorry.
Also, we're in the middle of a zero consumption report. We'll have that report to you. It will definitely be done by next meeting, but it'll be done before then. If you prefer, I'll just email it to everybody. We'll get you the percentages, like how many of the, you know, houses we checked were actually bad meters and all that, like we do. So yeah, we're knocking that out right now as we speak.
I also, you and I talked about, the sand project and potential savings.
Yes.
You had a number, right?
Yes, I did. And it's sitting on my desk.
That's
I know exactly where it's sitting, because I talked to you about it. I
Right,
told you the
right,
numbers,
right,
and I didn't think to grab it.
I was dropping off cookies or something.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was about $3,000 to $4,000 dollars in man hours. If you put a wage on it.
Right.
But it's hard to quantify the time. What is that time you save worth? Because what are you doing with that extra time? You know, obviously you're doing, you know, other stuff that you do regular maintenance with. But it just frees up more time to do, you know, what we're going to be doing here shortly is
Right.
probably the cart pass on 4 and 12.
Right.
You know, we're gonna do that in-house, but once we get through October, November is very busy for us. We get the flowers, mulch, pine straw, you know, putting everything out. We're spraying, we're trying to get everything sprayed out and get ready for January 1, you know, so everything's, you know, looking really good. So after November, we kind of start to die down, and that's probably in December, we're gonna try and knock out those cart paths and do them in-house. At least 4. 12 is gonna be a little bit more difficult, because it's actually 11, 12. It's right when you leave 11 green and 12 T. It's gonna be hard to reroute people there. You know, we're gonna have to get a little creative, take some time and look at that. 4 is not an issue. It's right when you cross over from 3, cross over the road, we can just put people out to the left. We've done it before when we previously fixed a cart path up in that area.
Bottom line is though, you know, reconfiguring and shrinking down of the sand traps is certainly going to be a savings,
Absolutely.
and especially over time.
Yeah, absolutely. They get done a lot quicker.
Right.
As far as finishing up in the morning,
Right.
I can put, you know, one person on it and don't feel bad because they're not coming in all day, you know?
Right.
And it's not really good quality when you do that, because that person's out there all day. Some people, especially with the crossover, they're playing holes that haven't even
Right.
been raked yet. It's gonna get raked, but
Right.
not while you go through there, you know? So yeah, there definitely is a big savings with just time.
And people not raking the bunkers is a big issue now. It really shows up where it didn't really show up before.
Yeah.
And you know, we've raised that issue on social media a couple times. If you don't rake the bunker, it's, you know, it's prominent. I walked out there one day and there was like one bunker where there's footprints all over the place.
Maybe you should put small signs up by the sand bucket on each hole, small signs saying, please rate the bunker.
Well, you can put a message on
Actually,
the
just put a
GPS,
message
right?
We do those things and we'll continue to, but
No one-
it's hard to
no one reads that anyway.
hard to legislate morality. I mean,
No, I,
But that would be something we could do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you notice a certain hole that's not getting consistent.
Well, the one hole I was on was 12, and I've noticed 12 and 13. You know, 13's a big bunker, and and we do have some animals go through there too. You know, like we have deer that go through, and 15 especially, the fairway bunkers will wind up
Right.
with some big deer tracks in them. But it's prominent now. You know, you got beautiful, brand new, white, soft, fluffy bunkers, and if you don't rake them, you're gonna be able to see it.
Why don't you put a notice up at the beginning, at the turn, and maybe like in between 4 and 5, and in between
We'll do
13
that.
and 14, or 14 and 15, something like that.
Every 3 holes or something, just
Just a message,
consistently
hey,
a message, please rake.
Please rake the bunkers.
Yeah, and leaving the brake on the cart, that's, forget about it. You only get anything. Matter of fact, I have more rakes missing, you know, left out there. And
John, I got a question. Are you fully staffed?
yeah,
Okay.
currently,
John, you done?
yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got any questions.
Any questions? Jeff?
Well, we having a fairly good month. We kind of jumped up in the last week or so. I think you know you can see we were trailing by about 21,000. We're down to 6. Usual October is we will trail, and then at the end we'll catch up and be pretty much right on budget. The rounds are pretty much where they've been in historically at this time. The only bad thing was Saturday. We did lose Saturday morning, which we had a 130-person shotgun going out. Beef O'Brady's Pine Woods Elementary Tournament. Rescheduled for this Saturday afternoon at 1:30. We lost a couple teams, people traveling, but hopefully we'll get it right around that 1:30 number again. Some other people might join and play.
So it's an afternoon?
Yeah, afternoon, 1:30.
1:30.
1:30 shotgun. Yeah, had to move a couple things here and there, but we were able to accommodate them. Everything, you know, everything seems to be going fairly well, knock on wood. We're doing some menu changes in the snack bar. We're working to get our sales numbers up there, obviously. We're gonna add some different sandwiches, and we've hired one new girl, and we're looking to hire at least one or two more to get up to full staff in there. Junior golf's going well, all our programs are going well. November 23rd, as a reminder, is Stony Brook Day. All Stony Brook residents will play for free and get a little box lunch. So we're looking forward to that. Celebrating our 20th anniversary. So if you're a Stony Brook resident, and November 23rd is your day. It's a Saturday. Come out and play, make your tee times, and that day's on us. Also, for the board's approval, November 11th, we've always honored the veterans by giving them a comp round on that date. Do we want to continue that program going forward?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Just want to make sure.
Did we vote on that?
I don't think we ever voted on it.
We never voted on it.
It happens when you,
Yeah.
I happened to go in there one day on the 11th, and I was bad for her.
Do we need,
Chuck, should we, if we want to institute that and just make it annual, just make a vote, and so at least then it's official?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's memorialize it with a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? And that is November 11th.
November 11th.
Veterans Day.
let's see, what day of the week it is this year.
It's Monday this year.
Is it Monday?
Yeah.
It is.
Monday, yeah.
Monday. Yeah, so you're playing.
All those in favor?
Yep. All right. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
All right.
So now it's.
Awesome. I know that make a lot of veterans happy. All right, other than that, I don't really have a lot going on. We're trying to use the new system that we have to its best abilities. We've asked if you're a regular, if you want to put your credit card on file, it's like one click and boom. It's really convenient. And you can do that. And that's about it.
Not many people doing that?
We've had about 20 so far.
So that means when they call and get a tee time, it automatically gets charged?
No, the day of, when they show up in the shop,
Oh,
we
okay.
just click on their name and boom.
Yeah.
Or we can do it actually from the iPad. When we do a shotgun, like on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
we stand on the iPad and put an X on their name and it'll charge them for the round.
And they don't have to go in the shop?
Nope.
Yeah, I did that yesterday. Bobby said, just give him an eye sign and take care of it.
And that transmits to the iPad so the starter can see that they paid,
Yep.
that's worked out good. And I think John was saying on Saturday or Sunday, now we have the ability to get the GPS on there so they can flip from one screen to the other and see where all the carts are at.
All right.
So it's,
Yeah, good. What a big difference.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So we still got some little bugs here and there to work out, but for all in all, it's been really good. It's made us much more efficient.
And Bobby Conway was recognized for
Yes, he was.
Florida PGA as, I forget what the title was.
Junior golf leader. He
Junior golf
won the award, which he's been deserving of for a couple of years, but he won it this year, and proud of him. Andy Scott was the teacher of the year again. So,
All right. Good? Anything else? All right. Let's move on to item 4. Future Corkscrew Road proposed expansion, side sound buffer wall, negotiation with Village of Estero.
Talking to Eileen, she said herself and Lloyd Sevier, they're gonna meet with the village to discuss this further. But,
You know what date that is?
Well, and
That has to be tomorrow.
there is a meeting October 23rd from 1:30 to 2:30
Okay.
that came into our email box.
October 23rd.
When is it?
I asked for, I didn't see anywhere where it said where this meeting is. Now, maybe I just missed it, because that email box, sometimes the formatting wasn't always.
Right.
So I emailed back, we actually got a meeting invite from the village. And I emailed her back last night. This came in, there was a discussion Thursday, I've been out of town. But I looked last night and, So I emailed back and just said, can you please clarify where this meeting is? Now, I know Lloyd responded that he can attend, and I just figured I could possibly
I
attend.
told Lloyd I was gonna be there.
Do you know where it is?
No,
Okay.
he sent me an email, no, he sent me an email.
Yeah.
Could you attend? I said, yes, I will.
Okay.
He didn't tell me what.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm seeing too, is I keep seeing this and I'm thinking, well, where is it? But anyway, so hopefully that'll get clarified. I don't think there's any reason why,
There must be multiple meetings going on because I actually have an invite for Friday afternoon at 3:30.
well, is yours on what
On the-
regarding
on
the preserve, which I think this
For
is,
the
well, I mean, I guess it all kind of ties together. But anyway, let's talk about the meeting, this meeting. So at least John can attend. I might be able to attend. And Chuck, as long as we don't, we can both attend as long as we just don't have discussions on, because it sounds like to me it's an informational thing where they're just gonna be telling us information.
I got the email right here, and there's nothing mentioned anywhere where he's gonna be at.
Yeah, but it says it's an informational meeting.
Right, yes.
correct? So I'm assuming they're just gonna be feeding us.
That's what it sounds like. It's
Yeah.
a general public information.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, what I have
Yes.
for Friday afternoon is actually specific to the other email that came
Right.
out regarding the
Steve,
preserve.
with Steve, right?
Preserve.
The wall, yes.
Right, right.
Steve, Jim Bosch, and Carol.
Okay, Carol's who is sending the emails to
All right,
us.
so that's a general information email.
So it wouldn't be, this meeting tomorrow wouldn't be a big deal.
Should not be an issue.
If potentially, because I might be able to attend.
Chuck, I got a question for you. Even though this meeting's going on this way, there's no mention of the water management people showing up. I was told that the water management people should show up, because that's a water reserve back there also. Should they be there also?
I will leave that up to the village.
Okay.
It's their
All right.
meeting.
But this meeting tomorrow is about the road expansion.
Yeah, that's
This
what.
isn't about the preserve.
Oh, I thought it was about the
No,
reserve.
no, we've got two subjects.
Road
going,
expansion.
so-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what, let's finish the road expansion.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So we've got an October 23rd from 1:30 to 2:30. I'm assuming it's at the village office, but we'll find that out. And at least John can attend. I might be able to attend. Anybody else?
I have a doctor's appointment, so.
I'm working till 1, so I might be able to get there.
Okay. At least we have at least one person potentially. All right, so that's good. And again, it sounds like it's just an informational meeting that the village is putting on about the road expansion and a potential wall. Now, on that, I don't know if you all saw it, but we were getting some emails about potentially the village is interested in the preserve. I know we've had this discussion before with the county, and the county made it clear that they are not interested in the preserve, but supposedly the village is. So when those emails came through, I sent it over to Chuck and asked him. I actually got an out of office from you, so I called. They never called me back, but apparently they have been in communication with you.
They have.
So,
Yeah, they reached out. As I understand it, they're very interested in the preserve. They're willing to work with us, with regards to wall and landscape buffering, along Corkscrew and somehow absorbing that into that particular project. So it would be their cost, at least some basic package, for the preserve. And their interest in the preserve is a number of things. First of all, be able to block the 951 extension on our west side, looking at providing access to the Edison Farms property for walking trails and things like that, public access, and also some sort of a fire training facility.
Right, they're back, they're back.
And I know that Dan has had some conversation with Mr. Rooney, who is the village attorney, so I think it's been a similar conversation, so.
According to Lloyd, there's gonna be a statement put in there that they cannot sell the property. It will be.
Actually-
I don't think we can sell it.
First revert back to the district, to the community, so.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we can't sell it, right? We can only turn over maintenance, right? And maybe I'm off, but I didn't think we could actually sell that land.
Yeah, I think in this particular case, we would be looking to transfer the property and any maintenance responsibility, so it's a win-win. You're removing, I think it's $40,000
It's
worth of
$40,000
maintenance
to $50,000
responsibility
a year.
through the
is that still, is that considered a sell, or is that just a transfer of responsibility, kind of?
Well, what would happen is part of the transfer would be a modification to your, environmental resource permit. And, an acknowledgement by the ordinance that the village has accepted that responsibility for maintenance going forward. So there, Chuck says, this would be complete and absolute, getting that burden off the future of the district. And, it would become totally a village, wider spread because, you're recognizing the benefits to that, to the community as a whole, which I'm saying is helping to eliminate potential access to expanded 951. Another thing I'm thinking is, their earnings mitigation credit. What they do is doing the finding of that road, they're looking at impact to the wetlands, and they're trying to find additional ways to show mitigation.
Offset that. What we're saying, though, is that within this negotiation, we would have a clause, basically first right of refusal, if for some reason they would ever try to sell or I guess maybe transfer the land as well.